He's the head coach of the Washington football team. He's Ron Rivera after the big win over Pittsburgh, putting an end to their undefeated season. Next game will be Sunday against the 49ers. Hi, Coach. How's morale?
Good. It's going real good.
I was wondering, I was looking back through your stats. Now, you played linebacker. Did you have one touchdown in your career?
Yes. My second year Super Bowl season against Detroit.
And what do you remember about that?
I remember scooping it up and just sprinting the entire 4.5 yards for the touchdown.
Do you have that football?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, most certainly.
Did somebody else on the defense do the damage and then you just cleaned up the leftovers? Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah. Hall of Famer Richard Dent stripped them, and the ball just bounced nice, and I scooped it perfectly.
How would you compare that team with, like, the Steel Curtain, like the greatest defenses of all time? And maybe,
Wow.
You're territorial, and I understand. I think the Steel Curtain was the best defense I ever saw. But
it's interesting if you compare it by the way they played during their era. I think you have a chance to say which was better for that era. And to me, I do think the Steel Curtain was one because they won more than one Super Bowl. If we had won a second one, believe me, I would fight everybody tooth and nail. But because we only won the one, I'm a little hesitant. But I still think we are the best. But I'm a little hesitant to get into those big fights and arguments over it.
If you could add anybody to your roster, your defense from the '85 Bears,
Oh, without a doubt, Mike Singletary.
because
Mike made guys around him better. He had a way that he did things. He did things the right way, and it kind of spilled over to his teammates. He played the right way, and it helped elevate other people's games. Because when you have a linebacker, whether it's a middle linebacker or one of the other inside guys, or Will or Sam, those guys that play to a specific level and play a specific way, they can raise those guys around them more so, I think, than any other position on defense.
I thought Mike Tomlin had an interesting conversation with Chase Young after the game. I think he basically says, my teams aren't bad enough to get a guy as good as you in the draft. I'm paraphrasing here, but it feels like that's what he was saying with Chase Young. That's a pretty good compliment there.
It is. It's a very good compliment, and Chase is one of those guys because not only is he going to, in my opinion, be a very good football player in this league and have a chance to have a Hall of Fame career. He plays at an energy level, and excitement that I think really, again, gets his teammates fired up, and that's one of the things I think is really neat about him is he doesn't know any different. That's just the way he is. So it's his whole approach to the game. He loves the game. You should have seen him at pregame warmup. Because we were talking about some of the guys on the other team, and he said, "Oh my God, I got to go over and say hi to Ben. I got to shake Ben's hand." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Oh man, are you kidding? I grew up watching him play. It was, he was so fired up." And then when Ben got close, he ran over there and introduced himself, shook Ben's hand, and then he said, "Man, I had to do that, Coach." I said, "All right."
No, that's when you say introduce yourself after you've sacked him, okay?
Well, but you know what? I left that to one of the other coaches to say.
Okay.
But,
the philosophy going into the Steelers, they don't have a great running game right now, and
right.
You knew Ben was going to throw a lot. But what was the defensive philosophy against the Steelers?
Well, it was to make sure we could shut the run down. To get it to a point where they were one dimensional, and I get it. They weren't missing their best run. They were missing their best runner and some of their offensive linemen. But we still felt that if we could stop the run and get them to be where they were one dimensional, we really felt we had a really good opportunity.
When did you know you were going to win that game?
Wow. I would say probably middle of the fourth quarter. We took the lead. Felt really comfortable about it, got an opportunity to extend the lead. But I'd say middle of the fourth quarter. Just the energy, the vibe, everything was going in the right direction.
What was it like in the locker room after the win?
It was cool. It was, it's one of those things that you remember. It's one of those things that you truly appreciate. And you don't get it unless you've been in the locker room. And I'm telling you, it was pandemonium. The guys were excellent. I'm so happy for those guys because, a lot of them have gone through a lot for the last few years. A lot of them went through a lot this offseason, having to take all the body blows that this team took, from everything from the social issues to the naming to those articles that came out. There was just a lot, and this really, I think, was, if you could feel the energy that they were releasing, you would almost think, God, they're just letting a lot of steam off right now.
What did you think when you saw Alex Smith's bloody ankle?
I thought, oh goodness, and then I realized it was his left leg, not his right, and then thought, okay, he got cleated. I mean, because believe me, I can remember bleeding through my socks, and knowing that, hey, I'd gotten cleated. So that's when I said, okay, just for a brief second, and then I realized it was his left leg.
I thought the same thing, because I started taking inventory, and I go, oh my God, what leg?
Yep.
And then I realized, and then I was like, I mean, he got cleated, which hurts, but
Yep.
what he's been through, we're going, oh yeah, he just got cleated and he's bleeding there. not a big deal. When do you start to assess the quarterbacking situation, though, in the future? As a head coach, as a team, given
Right.
Alex's age,
Yep.
Kyle Allen, Dwayne Haskins,
Yep.
when do you
I mean,
start looking?
that's definitely something we're talking about right now. Because again, you hate to be in the quarterback business because that means you're trying to find one. And right now we're feeling really good about what we're getting from Alex, the leadership we've gotten from him, and also what he's doing and helping to develop the rest of the team. I mean, we got a group of young wide receivers that really seem to be taking the next step. We have a tight end in Logan Thomas that's really starting to come into his own. We've got some young running backs that are getting opportunities that he's helping to develop. And we got an offensive line that we've kind of put together, and those guys seem to play accordingly because of what he's done. And because we control the ball better, the defense isn't on the field as long. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
so it's helped the defense as well. So it's we'll have a lot of conversations going into the off season. I mean, it's something we really have to discuss, and then we got to see how Alex is feeling once the season's over as well.
You'll appreciate this. My Heisman Trophy pick a few years ago was your tight end.
Oh, really?
Yes. When he was at Virginia Tech, I thought
Yep.
they were going to run the table. I loved Logan Thomas.
Yep.
I
Yep,
said,
I remember.
I thought, man, he's going to be like that. Now, is he an emergency quarterback at all? Like, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Is he fourth string?
Yes, he's the emergency guy on the field for us. We go into games with two, so he's actually third string. And we had a little taste of it against Dallas on Thanksgiving Day when he ran the tight end reverse pass and hit Terry McLaurin downfield.
Oh, yeah, I know. My guys still don't let me forget Logan Thomas, Heisman. The fact that he's playing in the NFL, I deserve a little credit for that, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little.
I'll tell you right now, you talk about a smart football player. I mean, he gets it. He understands it. And because of it, I think it's helped him at the position of tight end right now.
Can you outbench any of your starters on defense?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore.
I'm just curious about it.
No.
At your peak, though.
Oh, I'd have had a chance. I would have had a chance.
What about on offense? You can outbench Alex Smith, right?
I'll tell you what now. He's a warrior inside the weight room. Are you kidding? Oh, my God.
Wait, what's a warrior in the weight room mean?
A guy that just slings it. He's around just fighting the weight. I mean, he's impressive. I mean, I tell you, we've got some guys that really are war daddies when they get into the weight room. I mean, it's an impressive thing to watch.
Isn't it great we're not talking about your health?
Yes, it is. Thank goodness. And I really do mean that. I mean, I'm very fortunate. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the holidays should be a whole lot better. Tied for first in the NFC East. You got the Niners coming up. More importantly, you look great, sound great, and we appreciate your time as always, Coach.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you.
That's Ron Rivera, head coach of the Washington football team.